I shoulda, I coulda, I woulda. Guilt, shame, failure. Fuck, man. Look back on your life. Is there not Are there not things that you totally and absolutely regret, feel guilty about, feel absolutely horrible about, that you're just not forgiving yourself for? Guys, that's what I got to talk about today. I a little bit of a different tone today in today's video, and it's because I can sense what people are feeling right now. And there's this collective energy. Maybe that's a little bit weird for some of you guys to hear, but I truly feel that the world around us is experiencing some guilt, some shame, some shoulda, coulda, woulda, some failures in their life right now. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about. Okay, I've experienced massive levels of guilt, shame, and failure in my life. I was an infantry commander. I was in the military from 2005 to 2020. I had soldiers underneath my leadership that passed. I can think of one right now that committed suicide right after I left the unit. I could think of guys that were killed overseas. I could think of guys that were killed in the States. And every single one of their faces that I see, I feel responsible. Survivor's guilt is one of the ultimate guilts that's out there. Okay? Betrayal is another one. If you've ever betrayed somebody, that beats you up for your entire life. It haunts you. The skeletons in your closet, the mistakes that you have made, those you need to take ownership for, and you need to right your wrongs. But there are certain things that you are beating yourself up for that were outside of your control, and that needs to stop. Survivor's guilt almost took my life. Okay, I got back from Afghanistan after several of my guys had gotten hurt overseas. And I felt so bad that I started drinking every night, and I put a gun to my head and almost ended it. Okay, I spent time going through those memories, the traumatic ones that we all have. And when I say a traumatic memory, I mean either something happened to you or maybe you did something to somebody else, and you just kind of mentally blocked that shit out of your head and you kept continuing mission, moving on. But when you push those memories aside, when you forget about all the wrongs that you did or the wrong that happened around you, it's like carrying around a heavy sack, it's like carrying around a bag of just dead weight, and it will slow you down in life. The skeletons in your closet is a weight, that is a burden that you're carrying, and that needs to be released in order for you to fully experience the life that you want to live. You should feel happy with your life. There is a place that exists now where you are happy. There is an internal space where you feel good about you and your life. So I'll tell you guys some things that have helped me get over the shame, the guilt, the embarrassment. So not only did I fail as a leader, right? Like I went overseas, we went on an op, a bunch of my guys got hurt. I came back from that deployment. I went on another deployment, and some guys that I knew that I had served with, they got hurt. And, I wasn't on those ops, but I still felt responsible because I had trained them. Okay, those memories, those situations, those deaths, those wounds, they haunt me. I think about it a lot. I think about my inadequacies as a human being, my inadequacies as a leader being the reason why those guys got hurt and killed. And, it's nobody's fault what happened to those people. Shit happens in life. And there's been times in my life where I did stuff that was wrong, where I betrayed other people. I lied, I cheated, I stole. I don't have a huge record of stealing shit, but I've been in that spot where when I was younger, where I lied and I cheated. Where I am a man of integrity today, and it took me a lot of work to fix. Because I realized that every time I did something that went against my integrity in life, my life got hard and difficult. Even in business and entrepreneurship, there were times in my life, like, sure, I had a top secret clearance in the military, but there's been seasons in my life where I wasn't selling things that I should have been selling before the, windows of time where it was gray for me to be doing, to get reprimanded in the military. But my point is that those mistakes that and I was a fucking officer, guys. The officers have this persona that they're supposed to be, these moral and ethical people. And imagine, we're all supposed to be morally and ethically good people. But I was in a spot where I was a little bit morally gray in my military career at points and times, where I was still working on my maturity and building myself up into the leader that I admired, the leader that I would follow. And so I was far from perfect. And I learned over the years that self-mastery, self-control, and integrity, that's what makes up a good leader. So I don't care what you've gone through. I don't care if you've hurt a family member, hurt a friend, if you've been responsible for hurting somebody. I don't care what you have gone through in life. Forgiveness is a path for you. The things that have helped me overcome my guilt, my shame, my embarrassment is making a committed decision to being a good person for the rest of my life. To making myself, like from the military, right? Because I've blamed myself for getting people hurt, I told myself I would become the absolute best leader I could ever be. And I would cut every negative thing from my life and constantly work on evolving and leveling myself up, because had I been better, maybe they wouldn't have gotten hurt. So I took the mission of becoming better into my hands. And when that mission landed on my lap, I said yes to it, and I made it my commitment. And that made me feel less guilty, less shameful. It made me feel like I was taking control and empowered. And then with the previous mistakes that I had made that were within my control, times where I hurt people or I lied or whatever it was, I made it my mission to give more than I had taken, to love more than I had hurt for the rest of my life, to pay it forward tenfold, to pay forward and fix the karmic debt that I had accumulated, and to die on this earth as a good person and not a bad one. And that, when you make that decision to turn your life around and be a good fucking person and leave every single person that you meet with the impression of increase, leave them better than you found them. Little by little, that little weight that you were carrying around, that sack, that backpack full of weight, it starts getting lighter and lighter the more good that you give into the world. So if you feel guilt, shame, and embarrassment, I tell you, give yourself some grace, forgive yourself, and forgive yourself with more positive action that makes yourself better and everybody around you better today. That's the best piece of advice I could give you guys. I hope this message resonates. And if it does, share it with another person that may be in a similar situation, because I wish I had this message when I was going through my dark time. I love you guys. Conquer all.